one wrong word at a traffic stop with your concealed carry, and you're looking at felony charges, even if you thought you were following the law. Today I'm breaking down the 4 exact lines that could save you from arrest, lawsuits, or losing your gun rights forever. By the end of this video, you'll have a word-for-word script that keeps you legal and protected during any police encounter. Right now, gun owners are being arrested during routine traffic stops because they don't know what to say, or worse, they say too much. Last year alone, dozens of legal carriers ended up in court because of 5 seconds of poor word choice. This is happening to law-abiding gun owners just like you, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Point 1. I'm not sure, officer. Your first critical line comes the moment the officer asks, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" This is a trap question designed to get you to admit guilt before they've even told you what you allegedly did wrong. Whether it's speeding, rolling a stop sign, or touching your phone, they want you to confess to the violation. Here's what most gun owners do wrong. They start explaining, justifying, or admitting, "I was going a little fast," or "I might have rolled through that stop sign," or "I was just checking my GPS." Every one of those statements is an admission that can be used against you in court, and it will be. Under traffic law in every state, anything you say can and will be documented in the officer's report. That report becomes evidence if you contest the ticket or if the stop escalates to something more serious. If you're carrying concealed and this interaction goes sideways, your own words become ammunition in a prosecutor's case against you. The consequences are real. I've seen gun owners lose concealed carry permits because a traffic stop escalated after they talked too much. One wrong statement, especially if you're nervous about your firearm, can turn a $150 speeding ticket into a $10,000 legal nightmare. In some states, if you're carrying and the officer perceives you as uncooperative or suspicious based on your rambling answers, they can extend the stop, search your vehicle, or even arrest you if they find any technical violation of carry laws. So here's your first line, word for word. "I'm not sure, officer," or simply "No, officer." That's it, nothing more. Don't explain, don't guess, don't volunteer information. This response is respectful, non-confrontational, and most importantly, it doesn't give them evidence to use against you. You're not being rude. You're not being difficult. You're simply not incriminating yourself. But here's where most people mess up the second part of this interaction, and it's even more dangerous for armed citizens. Point 2. My license is in my wallet. I'm reaching for it now. The second critical line comes when the officer asks for your license and registration. This is where concealed carriers get into serious trouble, and I've seen it end in arrests more times than I can count. The mistake? Moving without narrating. Picture this. You're carrying concealed. The officer asks for your documents. You reach toward your glove box or your back pocket without saying a word. In that split second, the officer doesn't know if you're reaching for documents or reaching for a weapon. Even if you're a legal carrier with a valid permit, one furtive movement, one motion the officer can't see or predict, can turn this traffic stop into a felony stop with guns drawn. Here's the legal reality. Under the 4th Amendment, officers can justify searches and even arrests based on furtive movements or suspicious behavior. If you reach anywhere without explanation and the officer claims they saw suspicious movement, they now have legal grounds to order you out of the vehicle, pat you down, search your car, and depending on what they find, arrest you. If they discover you're carrying, even legally, and they can document that you made them feel threatened, you could be charged with anything from disorderly conduct to brandishing, depending on your state and how the officer writes the report. The consequences can be devastating. In states with duty to inform laws, failing to properly notify while making sudden movements can result in permit suspension or revocation. Even in permitless carry states, if an officer claims they felt threatened by your movements, you're looking at potential charges that could cost you thousands in legal fees and your right to carry. I've seen legal carriers charged with felony menacing because they reached for their wallet too quickly during a traffic stop. So here's your second line, and it's non-negotiable. Before you move a single muscle, you say, "Yes, officer. My license is in my wallet in my back pocket. I'm reaching for it now." Then, slowly reach for it. When you need the registration, you say, "My registration is in my glove box. I'm going to get that for you next." Then reach for it. Every movement gets narrated before you make it. This does 2 things. First, it eliminates any claim of furtive movement. Your body camera, their body camera, any recording, all of it shows you clearly announced your intentions. Second, it shows respect and compliance. which keeps the interaction calm. The calmer the stop, the less likely things escalate, and the less likely you are to face additional scrutiny about your firearm. After you hand over those documents, put both hands back on the steering wheel immediately. Don't fidget. Don't reach for your phone. Don't adjust anything. Hands on the wheel, visible, calm. That's 3 of the biggest mistakes handled, but here's where gun owners really get trapped. Point 3. I do not consent to searches. The third critical line is the one that protects your firearm, your vehicle, and your freedom. I do not consent to searches. This is where most traffic stops either end peacefully or turn into legal disasters, especially for gun owners. Here's the setup. The officer has your documents. They've run your information. Now they're fishing. They might ask, where are you coming from? Or where are you headed? Or have you had anything to drink tonight? Then comes the big one. You don't have anything illegal in the car, do you? Most people say no. Then the officer says, well, if there's nothing illegal, you wouldn't mind if I take a quick look, right? This is a trap, and it's designed to sound casual and reasonable. But here's what's actually happening. The officer doesn't have probable cause to search your vehicle. If they did, they wouldn't be asking permission. They'd already be searching. By asking, they're trying to get you to waive your Fourth Amendment rights voluntarily. Once you consent, they can search your entire vehicle and anything they find, even if it's technically legal but looks questionable, can be used to justify further investigation, detention, or arrest. For gun owners, this is especially dangerous. Maybe you have a magazine in your center console that's legal where you live, but would be illegal 2 counties over. Maybe you have ammunition stored in a way that's technically not in compliance with your state's transport laws. Maybe you have a knife that's legal, but could be considered a weapon under certain circumstances. Even if everything you own is 100% legal, the search itself extends the stop, increases tension, and creates opportunities for misunderstandings that can lead to arrest. The legal consequences are severe. In some states, if you consent to a search and they find any firearm-related item they claim violates local ordinances, even if you didn't know the ordinance existed, you can be charged with illegal possession. Those charges can range from misdemeanors with $1,000 fines to felonies with prison time, depending on the jurisdiction. I've seen legal carriers charged with felony weapons possession because a search revealed a firearm they didn't properly secure according to a local law they'd never heard of. So here's your third line, and you must say it exactly like this. I do not consent to searches. Not no, not yes, not I guess. Those answers are ambiguous, and officers will interpret ambiguity in their favor. If you say no to you don't mind, right? They'll claim you said no, I don't mind, which means consent. If you say yes, they'll claim consent. The only way to make it crystal clear on every recording, theirs, yours, witnesses, is to state it explicitly. I do not consent to searches. If they press you, why not? What are you hiding? You repeat the line. I do not consent to searches. Don't explain. Don't justify. Don't get defensive. Just repeat the line calmly and respectfully. This puts the burden back on them. If they want to search, they need to develop actual probable cause or get a warrant. Most of the time, they won't, and the stop will end. But if the stop doesn't end, if they keep you there for 20, 30, 40 minutes while they wait for backup or run more checks, there's one more line you absolutely must know. Point 4. Am I free to leave? The fourth and final critical line protects you from illegal detention. Officer, am I free to leave? This question changes everything, and it's the most powerful tool you have during an extended traffic stop. Here's what most gun owners don't understand. Once the officer has written the ticket or given the warning, the traffic stop is legally over. They can't just keep you there indefinitely while they fish for other violations or wait for drug dogs or call in backup to pressure you. Under the Fourth Amendment and Supreme Court rulings like Rodriguez versus United States, any extension of a traffic stop beyond the time necessary to handle the original violation is considered an illegal seizure unless the officer has reasonable suspicion of additional criminal activity. But here's the problem. Most officers won't just tell you you're free to go. They'll keep talking, keep asking questions, keep making small talk, hoping you'll slip up and give them something, anything they can use to justify extending the stop. And most people don't realize they can leave. They sit there, answering questions, getting more nervous, saying things they shouldn't, until eventually something goes wrong. For gun owners, this is catastrophic. The longer you're detained, the more opportunities there are for mistakes. Maybe you accidentally mention you're carrying. Maybe your nervousness makes them suspicious. Maybe they notice something in your vehicle that gives them an excuse to investigate further. Every extra minute increases your risk of arrest, especially if they're looking for a reason to search or if they're trying to build a case for DUI or weapons charges. The legal consequences of of not asking this question can be severe. If you stay past the point where you're legally required to, and the officer eventually develops reasonable suspicion based on your extended conversation or behavior, they can search your vehicle, pat you down, or even arrest you. I've seen cases where gun owners were detained for over an hour during routine traffic stops, and by the end, they'd said enough to get themselves charged with everything from illegal possession to intent to commit a crime, all because they didn't ask if they were free to leave. So here's your fourth line. Officer, am I free to leave? This question forces the officer to make a legal decision. They must either say yes, in which case you take your documents, thank them, and drive away, or they must articulate specific, reasonable suspicion that justifies continuing to detain you. If they say just a few more minutes, or hold on, you politely repeat the question, I understand, but am I being detained, or am I free to leave? This question is your legal escape hatch. It makes it clear on every recording that you're not consenting to further detention. If they hold you anyway without reasonable suspicion, any evidence they gather after that point could be thrown out in court as fruit of an illegal seizure. More importantly, it usually ends the fishing expedition immediately. Most officers don't want to justify an extended detention on camera when they don't have real cause, so they'll let you go. One final note, if they do detain you, if they say you're not free to leave, and they start asking serious questions or they arrest you, there's one bonus line you must use immediately. I'm going to remain silent, and I want a lawyer. After that, you say nothing else, not a word. Every single thing you say after invoking your rights can and will be used to prosecute you. Stay silent, wait for your attorney, and let them handle it. Let's recap the 4 lines that could save you from arrest, lawsuits, or losing your gun rights during any police encounter. Line 1, I'm not sure, officer. This keeps you from incriminating yourself when they ask why they pulled you over. Line 2, my license is in my wallet. I'm reaching for it now. This prevents any claim of furtive movement and protects you from escalation, especially when carrying. Line 3, I do not consent to searches. This protects your Fourth Amendment rights and prevents them from finding technical violations you didn't even know existed. Line 4, am I free to leave? This ends illegal detention and forces the officer to justify continuing the stop. Any one of these mistakes, talking too much, moving without narrating, consenting to searches, or staying past the legal end of the stop, could cost you thousands in legal fees, your concealed carry permit, or even your freedom. Don't let confusion about your rights during traffic stops put you at risk. Subscribe to Guns Law Guide so you never miss an update that could keep you legal and protected. I break down complex gun laws every week so you can carry with confidence and know exactly what to say when it matters most. Next video, I'm covering the 5 places you think you can carry but will get you arrested, including one location that's legal in 47 states but will land you with felony charges in yours. You won't want to miss it.